Good evening, everyone, and congratulations for being here because today is quite a challenging day. So, we're going to talk about trust. Trust that you can make it, trust that you can do it. But trust can be understood as faith as well. And the reason that I chose this subject is because sometimes what we find or we think that is supernatural or something like this is just a matter of understanding. So the way that Jesus healed people was through faith. He needs a channel. He needs something to deliver his fluids, his energy through our bodies. And so he uses the faith as the channel to get this inside of us, to get this healing power of him. And we're going to understand a little bit about trust, about faith, and how that works, and why we need to have faith or have trust in ourselves as well. So, if you don't know me, I like a lot to tell stories because pretty much that's what stays in your brain. But it seems like the computer didn't like me. Okay, mister, let's start it again. No biggie. Okay, done. And here we go. So why Jesus heal people? Because he was nice, everybody was sick. We're still sick. We have a lot of sick people around the globe. Why did he use the healing power with people in that time? Think about it if you know a little bit about Spiritism. When Spiritism and the doctrine appears, they need a way to call attention. So the spirits use the flying tables. And people went to these places to see something like amazing, to be amazed. But at that time, they need to be amazed as well. But in another way, they need to be healed. So he uses his power to gather people through the healing in order to convey his message. Because after you have something forever and all of a sudden you have nothing, you're good. Let me hear what he has to say. So it was a way to bring people to him to hear his message. And this starts before he started his ministry at Cana, the wedding at Cana, because he was like 15 or something like that, and he was coming with his family, mom and brothers, siblings. And at this wedding, everybody was having fun. The wedding lasts for 7-8 days by that time. And when he came with family, everybody started talking to him because this comes from a book called Shining Star or Bright Star. And it's written by Ismail, right? Is it Ismail in English? I don't remember. Is it Ishmael? Ishmael. Okay. So Ishmael was telling that by seeing Jesus walking around, the way that he felt, he was like not possible to not be contaminated in a good way by his energy. So everybody was attracted to him. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the wedding, something happened that was possible to create shame to the family. By that time, there is no way to run out of wine for a party like this. And the host and the hostess, the bride and groom, They were running out of wine. So they went to Maria and asked, talk to your son, see what he can do about it. And he saw opportunity to show something different for people to talk about, not to brag about, to talk about, to get out of there and just tell that something amazing happened. And this amazing feeling will bring more people to hear what he has to say. So he has to bring empty barrels, fill it up with water, close it in, open up, and there's wine. Without a millimeter of alcohol. But the best wine that they ever tasted. And that was so much so that they start complaining, because normally the tradition was to serve the best wine first. And they start complaining, say, wow, so why did you keep this wine for so long? And they ask Ishmael and Simeon. The last time that I heard the word Simon, yeah. He asked them to leave the party and start broadcasting, and start telling everybody about what just happened there, and to tell everybody that he will walk through a lot of places, a lot of regions, healing people, for those people to wait for him on the path, and they will be healed. And that's where it starts. In the same party, there was one of the highest, not priests, but highest people in terms of knowledge, and everybody looks for him, called Sadok. And he got envy because everybody was cultivating him at the party before Jesus come. And all of a sudden, all eyes were to Jesus. So he left. He went back to his home. Instead of stopping at home, he went all the way to the priests and talked to them about Jesus. Is that real? That can't be real. This is kind of magic or something like that. When he came back home, he started noticing some spots, dark spots in his skin. This was leper. Long story short, he was sent to the valley of the lepers. And his wife started hearing about Jesus' healings. And one day she came there and told him, Jesus is going to be such and such place at this time. Gather everything that you have and go the way you can go and be there. So that's the 10 lepers that did the journey. And when they got closer to Jesus, Jesus healed all of them. Just one came back, Sadok. And then the apostles, they just look at him and say, Master, this is so amazing the way that you heal people. This is so good. You're doing such a good thing. You guys are mistaken. Just one got healed. The other 9 are going to have the leper back in some time. Because it's not the body that is contaminated. It is the soul. And they didn't change. If they didn't change, this will come back again. And nowadays we know that our thoughts, our way of understanding life, can cause some sickness on us. So, long time ago, he was just saying that. If you don't change inside, there is no way for you to change outside. I can heal the external, but the hardest part is to heal the internal part. And you have to have faith on that. But you have to have faith on you, in you. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for him to put anything there. If we don't change internally, the external is not going to cure. And that's why you take so much drugs and medicine and we don't get rid of the sickness because it's probably inside of us. And that's why he said, your faith healed you. Because if you really believe that you can do better, then do better. Then change. Do the way it needs to be done. People didn't understand by the time the message. Healing happens in the soul. Unfortunately, this book, Bright Star, Shining Star, it's not translated in English yet, but it's really a nice piece to read and to get really emotional with these stories that were told in the Bible. But this is from Ishmael vision, so it's totally different per se. Many went to celebrate because they were sick for a long time. This is Jesus telling them. Unfortunately, before long, their bodies will be taken over by leprosy again. It is understood that because you stay so long with a sickness that you go and celebrate. But after that, what are you going to do? You're going to keep living the way that you were living, and that causes the leprosy? They're going to have it again. Their healing was only of the physical body. True healing only happens in the soul. And then in Matthew, he used to say, therefore, I talk then in parables, because they're seeing not. Hearing, hear not. Neither do they understand. And in them it is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing we shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing we shall see and shall not perceive. So the question that stays up to these days is not what you are looking for, but what are you seeing? Because sometimes we can look at something and we're thinking something totally different. So it's not what you're looking at. It's what are you seeing. It's not what you hearing. It's what you're understanding of the message. And what they are saying is that we need to talk in parables. We need to talk stories. That way they can have a better understanding of what we are saying. Otherwise it's going to be so difficult to change anything inside them. Healing happens in the soul. We do not cure the body with the body. We cure the body with the mind. And if the mind is confused and upset, it cannot cure anything properly. Year 400, Plato. Long time ago, we know that, but we're still not developing that kind of intelligence, per se, emotional intelligence inside of us. The worst disease is that of the soul, where the spirit goes through pains and trials. So it's not what the body feels, it's what the soul. Illnesses are found within people and are just waiting for the moment to erupt in the physical body. Have you ever heard that most of our sickness or virus are inside of us? And when you have a lower resistance, then something erupt right there. It's just waiting the time to erupt, to pop up. Man is the synthesis of his own experience, author of his destiny, which he elaborates through the impositions of determinism and free will. Dr. Roberto Boglio, he wrote the book, The Diseases of the Soul. So everybody's talking about not the body, but what moves the body. We normally talk about our soul in the third party, right? Like when I'm getting old, I'm going to take care of my soul. Oh, I'm going to the church on Sunday and to heal my soul. Newsflash, we are the soul. This is just a body. We are the ones that take care of the body. It's not the body taking care of the soul. But it's easy to deliver that kind of task to an external thing. Because for centuries, we were used to do that. In past incarnations, We probably were not spiritists. We probably were in a cult that has somebody to talk to God in your name. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the understanding of, oh, I don't need to do it. There's somebody that's going to do that for me. And that's why it's so difficult to stay with the doctrine, because everything is on you. You need to change. I can do everything in my power, but if you don't want to change, I'm sorry. It's up to us to dig deeper, to look inside, to change, and to understand that we have the power to heal. Because if you see on biology, if you see on body searching, most of the cells of our body renew from 7 to 14 years. If you have an organ made of cells that is sick, is that you suppose that if it will be renewed, it will be good again? No. Because what creates the sickness is still there. And the new cell will born sick. So it's everything not in our brain, but in our soul, which controls everything, including our brain. Also, illness is a way to draw people's attention to follow the path of good. When you say that, people say, oh, you guys are masochists. No, I never run to a center that people is kneeling on corn and hurting themselves. No, we are not. We're just saying that you need to have a kind of fuel to make you move. Otherwise, you're going to be so comfortable in your comfort zone that you're not going to move. And unfortunately, the fuel that human beings know the best is pain. When it, picks your nerves, like, woo, and you start moving. And that's illness. It's telling you, hey, buddy, you're doing something wrong. What about a timeout? Stay a couple of days in bed and think about it. There is a tale from Brother X that he comes to with his mentor and a group of healing spirits to a hospital. He got to a room and everybody was suffering and asked for God protection, for God to heal them. And he got so, emotional with that he asked the mentor, we came here in a healing purpose. Why don't we heal everybody? The mentor, to give him a lesson, said, yeah, no problem. Let's do it. Everybody started giving passes. The other day they came back. Everybody was better. And nobody, not one single person in that room was thinking about God. They're thinking about money. They're thinking about family. They're thinking about problems. Nobody was thinking about God anymore. That's hard. Not even to say thank you. The 10 lepers. Just one got really healed. The other ones are going to get sick again. My Father does not want people suffering, but people seek their suffering with their own hands. It's kind of harsh to hear that, especially because I know that I do that. So, no wonder we hate our symptoms so much, since they are forced us to express precisely those principles that we most intend not to expose. So we continue to fight the symptoms without taking advantage of the opportunity they represent to serve our cure. These guys are the writers of this book. No, they're not spiritists. Yes, they understand that we can heal ourselves through illness. If we understand the meaning of that, what's there for me? If you are in this planet, we're going to be tested many times over and over. So what is the meaning of a flu that can progress and get a pneumonia, and that can progress and get something worse? You're not paying attention to something. and you're getting something else to tell you, hey, hello, pay attention, something is wrong. Dig deeper, find a way to change it. It's not easy. It's not easy. But if that's there, that means that they think that we can do it.
When we die, our lifeline does this. When we're alive, our lifeline does this. Notice how that connects with our real experience of life. Life is full of ups and downs. It means you're alive. Twists and turns. Love and loss. Happiness and sadness. Success and failure. We experience extreme highs, peaks, and summits, and at the same time experience the troughs, the lows, and submit. Life is kind of like one big crazy roller coaster. It starts slowly, fills you with anticipation and curiosity, takes you up, and then sends you flying down, only to rise up quickly again. We laugh until it hurts. We cry inside a little, experience a few moments where we wanted to stop and hope it's all over, but it just keeps going. We somehow think that success is linear, an upward line. There is literally no case study for that. Everyone we admire has ups and downs. Your body mostly replaces itself every 7 to 15 years. The organs that work the hardest have the fastest changeover. You get a whole new skin every 2 to 4 weeks. Your red blood cells last less than half a year. And your liver renews itself at least once every couple of years. The universe is always changing. We are always changing. But we want to remain the same. We settle for security, not recognizing that a flat lifeline means we're dead. Real life is ups and downs. Death looks like this. Every time I see that, I remind myself, this is living, this isn't.
It's linear. Everything is linear, and we lose the chance to embrace peaks and valleys. What we can really do is to make it more even. You don't need to be that high and don't need to be that low. But we're gonna have it. So just accept it. Accept it that it's gonna happen. No, don't feel it before. So preoccupation doesn't lead us to anything but stress. But just accept it. Because sometimes we are like, oh, everything's so good, something wrong is going to happen. Not really. It doesn't need to. And even if it's something bad, there's two ways of seeing bad. Can be a challenge, or can be, why me? Why me? Why not my neighbor? Well, because if it's happening to you, chances are that is yours.
Because your neighbor's neighbor is you.
Exactly. We always think that the neighbor's grass is greener, right? Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night to see if it doesn't paint with some color, the grass, just to be greener than yours? We don't know. And it doesn't matter. What matters is what happens to us, what we can do to ourselves, not to the others. But for that, my friends, we need to have faith. There is one book they call Minutes of Wisdom. And I never found this message again. Believe me, I've been through all the pages trying to find this message. And to summarize the message, just saying, Jesus believes in you. If you don't believe in yourself, therefore, you don't believe in Jesus. I was like, what? What? I've been reading this book for 12 years in fraternal counseling. Never saw that message, never saw that again. But that's so true. If he believes in you, why don't you? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Have you ever seen God? Did he sit with you, take chat, or just take supper? But you still believe in him. What about the person that you see every day? Do you believe in her? Sometimes not, right? Why? You see her. You see yourself in the mirror every day when you go to shower or to brush your teeth or something else. And you still don't believe in something that you see. You are St. Thomas in reverse. We believe in what we don't see, but we don't believe in ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves to make our faith a channel for healing. When he say your faith has saved you, it's because that's the way that I can give you some tools. His way was energy to heal you. If you get to the pastor's room and start thinking about what you're going to eat, what you didn't do, how much money you make, or how much money you own, I can guarantee you, don't go there. It's not going to do anything. It's going to be nice. Good music, good songs, and you're calm and everything. But the energy part, the fluid part, it's not going to get you. You're not open. You don't give any channel for that to do any effect inside of you. People don't understand that. And there's a lot of people in the Spiritism doctrine that comes just to get passes. And when they got there, they got nothing. Because they're not prepared. They didn't make up their minds. They don't know what they're receiving. Or they don't know what they want. Or they don't know what they do. Or who they are. Your faith bring you health. Your faith heal you. The healed person's faith was the channel through which the power of God made the healing happen. The fluids to reach the organic matter in order to repair it. It can then be redirected towards the disease by the will of the healer, or attracted by the ardent desire, by trust, in a word, by the faith of the patient. So it's not just us trying to do our best in the passes, the best that we can do. It's you sitting there open to receive. And that's how Jesus will heal so many people, because he found a channel to deliver what they need. So, was the miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fish really a miracle? What do you think? Do you remember this passage? Okay, Jesus was coming out of the boat. There was a crowd of 5,000 grown-ups plus children. And by the night, he told his apostles to come to him and say, let's send them back home. It's getting late and they're going to be hungry. And Jesus said, no, let's keep them here. They still need you here. I need to say, let's feed them. And they said, but Master, we just have 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he said, give me the fish. And he multiplied it. Is that a miracle? That was just 2 fish. And he fed 5,000 plus children. And the fish and the loaf were so fulfilling that just one piece of each would fulfill a hungry person. And they end up with 12 baskets with leftovers. Was that a miracle? We believe so, right? Well, but he He had all the wisdom and knowledge of the composition of matter, terrestrial, universal, magnetism, and ectoplasm. He knew pretty much how things work in the universe. What did he do? He had a perfect connection with the spirits who worked under his command. So he had a lot of spirits helping him. For him to come to planet Earth was kind of a task, because spirits so pure to come to a planet as this one was quite a thing. But he had a lot of spirits working with him. His team of workers manipulated the forms of the spiritual plane and used the fluids of the crowd to make the materialization of the loaves and fishes. So they make the bread and the fish in the spiritual side, and they materialize those to be able for people to be able to eat with the people's ectoplasm. Still like, wow, but that is a rational understanding on that. None of us will ever gonna do that, but he was the one that could do that. That was not a miracle. That was a simple manipulation of energy, of fluids that were at his disposal by the time. But what was his intention? Stay longer with me. You didn't learn everything. Let me tell you more. I'll feed you. No problem. The food was prepared in the spiritual plane and materialized in the physical plane. But this was not difficult for Jesus. You know what is difficult for him? What was difficult for him? And probably still is. Any clue? His great difficulty was to implant his teachings in the hearts of men, as it depends only on them. Free will. Doesn't matter. I can do miracles in front of you, and if you don't want to understand why, just want to be amazed, it's just a circus. It's just a way to be amazed, not to understand the real message behind that. The real message behind that, he said many times too, we are gods. We don't believe in it, but we are gods. What he did, he said to his apostles that they can do better, but they need to believe in themselves. They need to have faith in themselves. So when we look inside of us and we bring the best of us, that is something that gives you confidence to keep on going. This is called syndactyly, aka bond fusion. I was born like this. I had two choices. Keep up with the bullying or accept it and be shy, or see as a tool to go and be better. And now I'm talking in front of you just because of that. So this is not a problem for me. This is a solution. This is completely different. What is your point of view? Although point of view is just a view of a point, your point of view is totally powerful. If you don't have a point of view about yourself, start talking to yourself. Who are you in the table? Where is your place? What do you think you deserve? Now I'm going to kill Raphael because I'm going to get out of the... Sorry, man. I told you. My friend, you do have talents inside of you that if you don't let it shine, nobody will know. You have talents that if you don't let it shine, nobody will know. Sir, you do have talents. If you don't let it shine, nobody will know. The same as you. And it will be a shame if we don't do that. Because, as the parable of talents used to say, You are given talents to multiply, not to hide under the ground and give back to the master because it was just one and I was afraid of losing it. You don't lose your talents. You just accrue more and more and more. But you have to have the will and the faith to do so. 5.5 years ago, I had the best gift of my life. A granddaughter. She was born early, like 3 months before the due date. And 10 days after she was born, her father died. I was here. My daughter was in Brazil. I didn't have too much ways to make it to Brazil. Needed to say I was working for Disney, so yeah, not too much money in the pocket. I got the money that I need on a scratch and play. Never again. And I still tried. Never again. But when I needed, it came. You can call this a coincidence. I call that, if you think that you need something and you have faith that the reason is beyond your gain, something will happen. Keep asking. Keep believing in yourselves. This is the way. But we keep on not trusting that. Your trust can heal. Your faith can heal. It depends on you. Thank you.